Well, hello, everybody. Happy Labor Day. We are here for a special edition of What's Up Wrestling. I'm here with Ruiz. What a week in pro wrestling. There is so much to digest, dissect, and go over. We've had two pay-per-views, WWE Payback, AEW All Out, and then all the news surrounding CM Punk, John Cena, and others. But let's get into Punk because that's obviously the topic of the week, of the year. Explosive story. So as it goes, the investigation is concluded. AEW puts out a statement, a press release that they are terminating CM Punk with cause, and he's done. He is done at AEW. It's done. And then Tony Khan comes out on AEW Collision on Saturday night. Now, remember, Saturday, this has come out earlier. So he comes out on Collision and makes this statement in Chicago, where CM Punk is from, and this doesn't go over very well. In fact, he's like basically booed off the stage. So, Luis, what's your take on what happened and the decision to rid AEW of CM Punk? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, like I it's funny because we obviously, like, we talk all the time. We text through all this stuff, and I was telling not just you, other people that I was talking about. I said for weeks now, I said after that thing, I said they have to let him go. Like, they have no choice. Like I just when I was saying that, I didn't think it would actually happen. I was like, they had to let him go. Like, I thought there's no way they could have him there, but I was like, yeah, but they just can't. Like, it's just like they're gonna have to figure it out because he makes a lot of. It's funny, the day before he got fired, they were saying how he was the number one merchandise seller since he came back. Like, he's the one who sells all the stuff. The tickets have been high because of him. And then I called you right away because I was like, this is I didn't even believe it. I read like 9 different reports because I was like, there's no way.
Wait, the phone rang. Wait, which is odd. You usually don't call, usually text. So the phone rang and I'm like, something's up.
Yeah.
I missed the call and then I get Punk fired. I'm like, what? I was with you. I didn't actually think they would do it.
Yeah.
But I get why they had to do it. So I kind of,
And I also, like, it's, I have my views on Tony Khan. I think he's kind of, I like, MJF called him a mark. So that's kind of how I feel about him. I don't think he knows how to really run a business that well, but I do give him props for doing it the day of the 2 shows in Chicago. Like, I thought he would wait and basically, like, all right, let's do it Monday, but he did it Saturday morning, and I was really surprised by that. But I mean, I guess it shows. The only good thing is I've been reading, and I heard that the locker room just really didn't want him there anymore. And I think he won the locker room back with this move, even though it does suck for him as an owner and a company to lose your biggest star. He's the biggest star there, and the Punk run is officially over, and it was a waste.
The enormity of this is huge, and the impact actually, because first of all, as we discussed, Warner Brothers Discovery gives AEW a third show, AEW Collision on Saturday night. Punk is their lead star. He is what you are bringing people to see. If you don't know all the other wrestlers who aren't the most famous wrestlers in the world, and you're either casual viewer who trips upon AEW Collision or want to check it out, you're like, oh, CM Punk, I know him. He's on that show. And they built this show seemingly around him to separate him from the Elite, from Hangman, from all the mess, from the All Out brawl. And by the way, today's the 1-year anniversary, I believe, of that.
It wasn't even a full year.
It wasn't even a full year. Like, literally, the timing of this is like almost a year between the first mess that CM Punk was involved in with the backstage brawl, and now almost a year later, and another brawl. So where I think this came down to is Tony Khan saying, or his advisors, whatever Punk did backstage from the reports where he literally lost it.
See, I read that there's camera views from 10 different angles. I want to see the video so bad. Like,
somebody's going to eventually leak that video or put that out. I think once this we'll see. It could happen.
But when I saw that statement and I saw the fear for his life, everyone was making jokes about it. If that's true, like, if he's not just, because I personally think he's just, making it bigger than it actually was to show that he had to fire him. But if it's true, what did Punk do? Like, you know what I mean? Like how did he fear for his life? Punk was gonna murder this guy backstage. Like what? Like, I don't understand.
I mean, he could have been so enraged, but here's the point. And we're jumping around, but this is all great, important topics. Jack Perry is not guilty in all this. He
Yeah.
is clearly incited this.
And he's
With this
he antagonized it. Yeah.
antagonize it. And then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, and I hate to say this, but I'm like, is this part of a plot? Like, did they want to incite the guy so they could get rid of him because it was already problematic when he came back the second time?
I said, and I read that, like, going about that. I read the stuff today, and we've talked about how Punk has been that we feel like he's in the wrong, and we don't really know why he lashes out and stuff like that, because it's just not normal. Like, we don't see.
I say brain trauma or something.
Or like he just literally, like, there's guys who can't handle when, like, and admit that they're wrong, and he seems like one of those guys. I mean, we saw it. That's why he left WWE. He felt like that it's their fault, not his, and now he did the same thing at AEW. Like, it's so. I read that. I'm sure you probably saw it, about how they supposedly had a meeting set up with Punk and the Young Bucks and the Elite, and then they canceled it that morning, which enraged him. But I feel like I personally feel like that they did it on purpose. I think they all wanted him out since he came back, and I think Punk wanted out after he had an event not too long ago. Didn't he just have something like a thing
where he won the award? That award that he just received? You mean? Yeah.
No, like we not too long ago we were saying how Punk had gotten something backstage where he got in an argument, and then it happened again at Wembley,
right.
and then he finally got fired. But I was like, I don't know. I feel like I really do feel like, oh, when we talked about how no one picked him up from the airport and he had to find his way there alone.
What is that?
I'm telling you, I legit think that's they were figuring out ways to get him enraged, and then they probably know how he's gonna act, and then now this happened. I think they were definitely looking for ways to get him out, and I think that he was looking for a way to get out. I think he did this. I think he knew what he was doing. I think he had to know, because he doesn't. You don't do all that and then come out and smile and work a pretty good match. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy.
I think I've seen in business. Like, I've seen this in business where people set up somebody who they know will lose their temper, mess up because they want them out.
Mm-hmm.
This gives them legal just cause. If there's videos, if all this happened, then it's like, oh, we got him now.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really interesting to see online, and also backing up. It's interesting. I know you're a CM Punk fan.
I am.
But like, remember how you bet, but through this entire thing, and the entire time we've been talking, it's like, oh, Punk, I can't move. I'm a Punk fan too. Yeah. I'm really disappointed. And so many people that were haters on Punk, now they're like, oh my God, now he's gone. Like, what do you want? You either want him in or out. Like, it's like,
me personally, like
but he can't move.
Because, like, I talk about all this stuff, but I'm not gonna lie, I would absolutely love to see him come out in WWE. But the only reason for that is because I still think that I told you from the beginning, I'm a huge Punk fan, and I wanted him to come back to WWE every single year that he was gone. And then when I kind of figured out he was coming to AEW, I didn't think that his return would feel as important. I felt like it had to be where he was when he was the best, which was WWE. And his run was cool. In the beginning, that first few months, I thought his run was pretty good. And then when I knew they were going to give him the championship, and then once that happened, I was like, it's like he doesn't. You could tell that his in-ring isn't that good, and then that's why he started doing these hardcore matches. And now that he's finally gone, after he was gone for a while, and now he's fired, I personally don't think he's done. Like, I think he's ready to, and I do think that him going to WWE and talking to Triple H and talking to the Miz and these guys, I think he knew what he was doing. I think he knew that there was a shot, if I'm not here, maybe they'll bring me back. And I know we talk about WWE not needing him and all this stuff, but I think WWE really does hate AEW to the point where
it would be a huge
like we talk about it, like, yeah, but it's at the end of the day, it's CM Punk. And if he went to WWE and came out, like, imagine if he came out at Survivor Series in Chicago their ratings would go through the roof. And I think that,
but you just hit upon it because you have such a great wrestling brain. You just hit upon it. If they're gonna do it, like literally, they got to
set up.
They got to make it happen in Chicago. It's the only way. The pop would be huge. People go nuts. I don't want to see it in anything else but Survivor Series in Chicago. That's the getting over the whole thing.
You got both brands there, like
feud, AEW, and everything.
I just think that as much as everyone says they don't need him, they don't need him. You're right, but like I said,
no, I think they should bring him in for.
Like I said, WWE is I think not as because AEW likes to name drop WWE, name drop. WWE doesn't talk about them. They don't mention them. Nothing. But I think that I don't think they like them, obviously, because Triple H has said some things about secondary promotion, all that stuff. And I think Triple H, out of all people, would do anything to make them pissed. And I think that he would 100% be on board with bringing him on just to get back at them. And I think Punk also would be even more intrigued because he knows that if he goes there, it's gonna be bigger. He gets to get all the stuff back.
There's multiple things to this, and it was brought up last night, and this was driving me crazy. And a lot of people are on X, formerly Twitter, talking about this. I watched the AEW All Out post media scrum post show, and the deflection by Tony Khan on these questions, and the way the press was in there was really odd. The questions of stepping around, how they're the indirect way they're trying to find out, like what's up with Punk. The question was, it wasn't said direct, but it basically was like, what are the terms of Punk's agreement? Does he have a non-exclusive, like, can he get out, can he go a non-compete clause? And Tony Khan didn't answer it. So we don't know what is going on there. Now, when you fire somebody with cause, I would think that
the way I've read it and read it on Twitter, and everyone's giving like their professional experience, and even like wrestlers, like old wrestlers have talked about it. They're saying the wording they use and all that he's able to go wherever he wants.
He's done. Goodbye. That's how
all clauses are all gone.
Right? Like it doesn't matter. Go. I don't care.
Done. Yeah, I don't think they were able to, because I think that stuff has to be like if you release him, then he can't go anywhere, like stuff like that.
Now, I do know some people in entertainment that were fired in like executive level jobs, and they do have from their original contract. I think there may be a 1-year thing. I don't know. But to me, the way this is worded, you would think he could go. But Tony Khan was very evasive in the answer, and the press didn't really answer it. The other thing I want to say is, does anyone realize what a cluster F Punk's return to AEW was? First of all, I told you, I was there in LA. He wins the title. He comes and he falls off he does his foot. Then he comes back and then he tears his tricep. So that
was like that same week, right?
The same week as the whole All Out thing.
Yeah. He was gonna be gone no matter what.
They were at that night with Moxley. Didn't he wrestle Moxley?
Yeah, he broke his foot. And then
in LA,
he wrestled the next day and got squashed because he had to lose the title.
Right.
Was out for 7 months or whatever.
9 months.
Came back.
6 months. Yeah.
Won the title. I think the first night he was back and tore his tricep. And then that same day was the day that he freaked out.
Yeah, the freak out. So all of that makes probably him like, I just went through all of this to come back here.
And then he gets hurt again. Well, he got hurt, was rehabbing anyway, so they suspended him. He was going to be injured anyway. And then they make a whole show for him so he doesn't have to talk to these guys. And now he's gone. And now Jay White is the cover of Collision.
Jay White has now
which is not CM Punk. Listen, I love Jay White. It's not CM Punk. It's not.
Yeah, I just doesn't feel the same. I saw
today. This was today.
Yeah.
This is today from Fightful. I just got because I follow them on like their
me too on X.
Yeah. And it says Fightful Select reported over the weekend that there was no word on a non-compete period which would prevent Punk from signing or appearing for another wrestling promotion. During the stated period, the outlet also noted that Punk, in quotes, still has major heat with numerous top names in WWE. And then it says, elaborating, Sean Ross Sapp tweeted that Punk might not be the most popular man within WWE, but that does not mean that they are willing to burn bridges for a top guy in the market. So
I've seen crazier stuff happen at WWE. Like we've seen
yeah,
people back that
yeah,
you thought were never come back.
yeah, like
They
big
forgot.
one, bigger than CM Punk. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but CM Punk is just uh, it's such a polarizing thing. Please tell me what you think about Jack Perry. So according to Tony Khan, he says last night he's been suspended indefinitely.
yeah, yeah.
Really? What does that mean?
I
What
guess
does that
so.
mean?
They
Until we
suspend
feel like
him.
bring him back for a
They
week?
suspend him until they feel like the heat died down, and then they'll just bring him back. I personally feel like the video showed that Punk is just a maniac, and Perry didn't do a lot, but Perry definitely. I mean, he started it. Nothing
Yeah.
happens if he doesn't say that video. If he doesn't say it, and
But
then I heard that.
but I'm
And then
sorry.
I read that he supposedly told people backstage that he was gonna say it before he went out there, and then someone tweeted like, "All right, so no one thought backstage, hey, why don't say this so you don't cause a problem?" You know what I mean? That's why I feel like they wanted.
This is the point. Yes, this is. I don't feel Tony Khan is in control of that show. He's got too many people doing what. I mean, where's
like,
the heavy hand?
And I'm telling you, I feel like when I also read about this, and I felt like that right away when I listen, I get the whole thing with Punk, but once I started hearing the stuff about like even for example like no one picking him up from the airport, they forgot or whatever, I can only imagine that he's probably backstage alone, and like you know how it is like when it's a bunch of guys hanging out, it's like a group, and it's
a clique. Yeah,
and that's how I feel about Punk, and then that's how I felt. I honestly, I'm telling you, I started to think that that's why Cody left. But Cody left on his own terms, and he was able to leave knowing that because he's very vague about why he left. But everyone always says that it's because he just didn't like the way it was going, and that he felt like Tony was losing direction and the meaning of what All In really was, and he was bringing in all these guys. So I feel like Cody left because he was like, all right, I'm not doing anything here, and I'm kind of the only one out. Because think about it, he's with the Omega and the Young Bucks and Hangman. They're together, and Cody was just on the outside. So Cody left on his own. I think Punk is leaving for the same reason, but he's doing it in a totally different way. But I think
the more we talk about this, the more we talk about this, this gets me really upset. I feel like he was set up.
Yeah, I know. I
think, as I've said to you, there is something wrong going on with Punk. Now, I don't know if it's CTE, anger management issues. I don't know. However, listen to what happened between London and Chicago.
Yeah.
All of it sucked with involving him. And by the way, his match was terrible.
Yeah.
At All In.
That's the thing, because like people talk
but now looking back on it, he just went through.
Yeah, he wrestled. Yeah. He fought and then wrestled right after.
He almost choked out Tony. But I just have a problem with the management at AEW, and I hope they can shore it up, because
that's why a guy like Punk and the guys that have egos and stuff like that, there's always stuff like, listen, I know maybe they just keep it on their wraps or we don't know about it, but there literally has never been this the past 10 years of WWE. This doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Like, they have management. Like, wrestlers don't run the show. Like, wrestlers are running the show over there. Like, Tony Khan is a producer, and that's it. He doesn't he's not involved. He just lets them run around. Like,
well, but if again at last night on the post show and the media scrum for All Out, he has Bryan Danielson there and really goes into how Bryan Danielson helps some crap, such important backstage. And so you hear a lot about Kenny, Young Bucks, Bryan Danielson. All of these people are obviously helping Tony with creative decisions and matches and things like that. He basically said that, although it's ultimately his decision.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's running. He was saying this past week was the most crazy week for him. Of course, he never really said about Punk. He's like, because of my Fulham team in England and then my Jacksonville Jaguars and like the press conference was infuriating because the reporters were
everybody wanted one answer and he just wouldn't give it.
But they weren't even asking like, hey, what's up with so they would ask the question and then either sidestep it or not, and they just didn't full out answer it.
And yeah, and last thing is that once I saw that they all extended their contract, the Young Bucks and the Elite
and Omega, yeah.
I was like, they had to have had a conversation about wanting Punk gone or limiting their interactions with him, because I don't think they would have stayed if Punk was gonna be the top guy for another 2 years. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't Punk, when you talk about merchandise, when you talk about his name, when you talk about Collision, so collectively that doesn't help the whole thing for them, and they're like EVPs of the show, of the whole company.
That's why I just feel like, that's why I'm telling you, I that's why I related to like why Cody left, because I feel like they started to just like be like, all right, it's all about us, and that's all we want. And then you got guys over here that don't like it, and Cody left on his own because he's a respectful guy, and Punk isn't gonna handle it. And the only thing I give Punk is that he doesn't take anybody's crap. Like, he's gonna call you out on it. So like, you're not gonna, like, Perry said that. I'm glad Punk said something to him. Like, you don't just say that on live TV. Everyone knows what you're talking about, and then expect to just go backstage and have Punk, what is he gonna walk by you? Like, you know how he is. Like,
right, that whole glass thing from the beginning, from the week prior, was what do you mean? Why was Punk telling Perry you can't use a glass? And then where was management? Like, why didn't somebody say, "Hey, Jack, we don't think you should use the glass"? Why is it about?
Because honestly, I read that Punk was just telling him, "Hey, it's not safe for you to use real glass." Like, he's like, I wouldn't like that. But why is it his decision? Like, why isn't it someone that's writing the show? Like I don't understand.
Well, I just feel like such a mark, because I was so excited that Punk was coming back. I got my Punk t-shirt. I went to the thing in LA. I'm taping all the stuff. I'm like, Punk, like, I'm so, it was CM Punk. And it's not just sad. This just sucks in so many ways.
I think if he's he's still only 44. Like, he's younger than like a lot of the guys.
He looks like he's 62, like me.
Yeah. He, like, my other uncle, we talk about it because he's like, he likes Punk, but like he just hates like the way he is, and we talk about it, and he's like, bro, he moves like people forget AJ Styles is 3 years older than him, and he moves like
AJ Styles. First of all, and I mean this in the kindest way, he's like a freak. Like, I can't believe,
because think about it, he's like, for example, like a guy like him, he didn't take 7 years off. He's been wrestling for the past 7 years, and he still moves like that, which is crazy. But like, I personally think if Punk goes, and I think that I think he personally should do it so he doesn't end his career like this, because he did come back, so now he has to end it. It's a
terrible. I can't.
Like, if he just never came back, it would have been fine. But now that he came back, he has to figure it out. They have matches that they can sell crazy. Like, if they had a WrestleMania, I'm telling you right now, if they had a WrestleMania and it was Roman and Punk and Cody and Punk and Seth and Punk, they have feuds that they can run there that will go a long time. You can run back Cena and Punk and give us another match. Like
now, how would that conversation go? Now, hold on. So Triple H sits down Cody and Roman and Seth and says, "I want to bring CM Punk." What do you think are they gonna be like? Great.
I mean, I know that. So, I just don't know. I feel like when it comes to business, like, that's what I say. I wonder if Punk is gonna come to them, or if they're gonna be like, "Hey, we need to go get him. Like, we need to bring him here." Like, I wonder if Triple H is gonna be like, "All right, let's get him here," or if he's gonna wait for Punk to be like, "Hey, I need a job."
Well, I think it would look icky for Punk to be like, "Hey, Triple H, I need a job." I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, like a late night text.
Like, "Hey, I got to fix this." However, the optics are. Here's what I want to say.
Like, WWE has all the leverage if they want to bring him back. Like, they really do. Like, they don't, like, they can do whatever they want. They can not sign him if they want to sign, because now there's no other company, even if he goes to like freaking New Japan, like, they can't even go to New Japan because he has a partnership with AEW. So it's like he has to, I think it's WWE or nothing.
Impact Wrestling and call it a day. That's kind of
like, see, like, that's why, like, they know they're the only other company that he will sign with. He's not gonna go backwards. If anything, he's gonna go bigger. So I do think, I don't know if that's the relationship they have, but I personally don't know. Like, do you think is WWE like a company that like does sit down their guys, like their top guys, and like, "Hey, would you be okay with with this. You know what I mean?
I don't see any other way this could be done. I think you'd have to, because you don't want to have another.
I think you'd bring in guys like
you'd have to bring in the top guy.
like the Roman, the Codys,
Seth.
like Seth, like the probably like guys like Gunther, like stuff like that. And you're like, hey, like, how do you feel about this? And then I don't know. I think that there's I think Roman would be like, why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Well, they say that, but then there's all this baggage. See, that's the problem. But the thing I want to say is, I believe that Punk has got a big enough ego, which we know he does, that can you imagine going through 2 surgeries in a short amount of time, rehabbing from that, coming back and being fired after all of that? Like, I would not want to end. I would want the final say if I'm Punk.
And if
I don't know if he'll get it. I honestly don't.
And if he goes to WWE, he's gonna be a top guy. Like he's CM Punk. Like I'm not gonna lie, I want to see that song playing on Raw. Like that's what I want. I do.
I know you do. But here's what I think is gonna happen.
And with him, we get AJ Lee back for a couple of matches.
True.
Because there's rumors about that.
True. I agree. Yeah. I just can see what's going to happen. I bet you TMZ is going to get a hold of that footage.
That's what I was going to say. They're going to try to figure out. They're going to pay
because once they're going to pay a lot of money for that footage
for some little camera guy that works there to get fired.
Somebody's going to get paid millions of dollars because they're going to make millions off of it.
Yeah,
and that's going to turn everything. It's either going to be him looking like a complete deranged maniac.
Yeah,
and end it, and no one will hire him ever again.
Yeah.
You know, I would be on the lookout for TMZ very shortly to somehow.
And that might be. I'm not gonna lie. That, like you said, that might be what WWE might be waiting for to see how bad it really was. You know what I mean? Like they want
to. You can't have in this day.
You can't bring him like and have him as his poster boy, and he's like he choked out his boss. Like you know what I mean? Yeah.
And isn't WWE friendly family viewing? I mean, it's young kids. I mean, they really play to that. Are they going to have a mauling guy who's, an abuser who's attacking people? I can't imagine.
I'm not going to lie. Like, it's not my business, but like, I wonder like what his wife thinks about all this stuff. Like, does he just go home and he's like, yeah, crazy day at work.
I wish she would come forward on social media and go.
Like, she has to be like, yo, you're like, is he like that at home? Like I don't understand. Like, it's weird. It's crazy. That's why I like we joke around about it, but I feel like he has some anger, like legit issues that he can't control. Like he can't control them.
Right. And I just go back to, I know you all think I'm nuts with the CTE thing, but look at the guys. What if something happened and he doesn't realize? I mean, I don't know. Why is he so out of control? Unless they are just provoking him. But I don't think they provoke. I don't know. Unless you're right. They all hate him.
That's what I think.
From a year ago.
Yeah.
And Tony Khan
should have fired him. He should have fired him last year. He should have made a show for him. Like that's where you already. How do you put all your all your shit that you had for him? You just give it to him. Here's your own show, and then but you know how he is. Like you had to know this was going to happen again. Like you just had to.
And I also think I texted you. They needed something huge last night. They lost Punk. They needed Edge to come in. They needed somebody to show up.
I think more than ever now, Edge is going to be there, I think.
I mean, they got to do something. They got to pay somebody a lot of money.
Yeah.
They need another face of Collision or something.
They lost he's their top merchandise guy. Like they lost two. Cody and CM Punk are probably their 2 biggest stars. Like when you think about it, like I don't think AEW thought Cody would be what he was now. Like, I don't even think Cody thought that, but the fact that he's done what he's done and he's the top guy, like Roman's not full time. He's the top guy. Like they can't afford to keep losing these guys. And I don't think
the reason Cody is so good. I mean, everything was marketing wise, image wise.
Yeah.
He knew he had it all.
Yeah.
Figure it out. He's smooth. Like he's got the look,
he's smart.
He's got the outfit, he's got the documentary.
He's got the weird tattoo. He's got the stupid tattoo that I can't stand. They have water tattoo. Like my little brother, he's 8 years old. He's gonna be Cody Rhodes for Halloween. Like he literally like he has the jacket.
How many little Cody Rhodes? There's gonna be
there's gonna be a ton.
I mean, they love Cody.
WWE sells a water tattoo of the tattoo. Like you could paste it on your neck, which is hilarious.
How old's your little brother?
He's 8.
And he loves Cody.
You ask him, like we were talking about the other day, like me and my uncles were watching pay-per-view, and my uncle was like, he's like watches it, and he was like, we were talking about the top guys, and I was saying how it's crazy to me that when you think about it, my little brother's 8, and so he doesn't even know who Cody Rhodes is, like before he came back, because he was in wrestling when I was a kid. He was into WWE when I was younger, and I was like, it's crazy that like he came back to WWE, and it shows how well he did everything, because now he's the top guy. And he was like, oh, but like the kids like him. I was like, wait till he gets here. So my little brother showed up, and he goes, oh, Christian, like, who's your favorite guy? And he goes, Cody Rhodes. Like, he loves him. Like, he loves Cody's his favorite wrestler. Like he loves it. And it's crazy because that's all of what he's just done now. It has nothing to do with what he did before and what he did in AEW. My little brother doesn't know any of that. He only likes it based on what he did when he came back.
Why does he like Cody Rhodes? Did he tell you why?
He just says he likes him, and he says he's cool, and he has the gear and the tattoos and the colors. And like my little brother's, so he has like short hair, but like it's kind of long, and he wants to dye his hair like legit,
like Cody,
for the costume. Yeah, blonde for the costume. So my mom's gonna do it.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's where you got to take pictures.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna see if he sees it.
Oh my God, that'll be amazing. But that's true. Like Cody is beloved,
and that's why I think if Punk goes back, he's getting a bigger company,
be a heel or what?
A bigger production, a bigger marketing. These video packages, like I think they can do a lot of work with him. So I don't know. I think WWE would be interested, but I think now that we talk about it, I think they're waiting to see how bad this video is.
I'm worried that the video is going to be really bad, and that's the end. And
do you think we're gonna get anything from Punk, or he'll just gonna go ghost and not give his point?
No, I think he will.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be soon. If he can't, if there's a gag order, there may be a gag order in the contract.
Maybe his. Maybe his
legal attorney.
Hey, keep your mouth shut. Just wait for it to be over. Yeah.
And if you want to do a smart marketing plan, it's always you don't come out right away. It depends.
Yeah.
Either get ahead of it and address it.
Yeah.
You wait.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh my God.
And give your side on why you did it. Yeah.
I don't know how
or he just doesn't say a word and comes out in Chicago. Like,
I don't know how he's gonna.
There has to be a part of him that's like, oh shit, Survivor Series is in Chicago. Like, I gotta figure this out quick. Like, there has to. I read that they said that everybody backstage was talking about him being fired in WWE. Like, everyone was talking about it.
I know. I saw that.
Like, there's interest. There definitely is. And
is there interest, or are they just like, oh God, this guy is such trouble, we don't want him?
No, I think he had, like, I read that he has some some good friends there still too. So I mean, like, I'm sure there's gonna be guys vouching for him and stuff, but there's also some guys that are like, hey, we don't want this guy here. Like, a guy like Seth is probably like, I don't want him here. Like it, and there has to be a sense of like, your WWE. I'm not gonna lie, they really are like killing it. We've talked about it for the past year. They've been on fire. Like, I love their product right now. Every single PLE has been good. They're doing well. There's no backstage drama. Like, there's nothing. Everybody's happy. Like, they got the right guys as champions. They're doing well. They got Cena back for 2 months. Like it's perfect. And that's like, there has to be a sense of like, hey, do we really want to?
Exactly. Do we really want to tarnish what we have by bringing this troubled guy in who we don't know why he's such a loose cannon?
Yeah.
Or, but yeah.
Or you bite the bullet and you sell massive tickets and you sell out WrestleMania.
Is the risk, but let me ask you this, he is now a risk.
Yeah. He's a liability. Yeah. He's a liability. Yeah.
So if you're the owner of the company, you got to make, or Triple H or whoever, are you going to do it for ticket sales? Maybe.
That's what I think. And I think out of all companies,
you had Mike Tyson, who bit people's ears off, who was a nightmare, and they had him at WrestleMania.
Some people said,
you weren't even born.
I don't even think I was.
But I've seen. I'm like, the guy was just almost put in jail or whatever, and he's like, there it is.
Like, WWE has the chance to do something very funny, like very, very funny and very cool, and something that they thought they would probably never do. And I think out of any time for them to ever bring CM Punk back, especially after going to AEW, this is the best time in the last 9 years. This is the perfect time to do it because now they have a reason to. And now he has a reason to want to go back. Like I don't think he just went to WWE. I'm telling you, he didn't just go to WWE Raw for no reason. Like he didn't just do that. He didn't just go there to say hi. It wasn't even in his town. He had to fly there.
Hey, how many months ago was that? 2, 3?
No, that was in the middle. That was in the middle of his first suspension for 9 months.
Right. That's right.
And he just went there and he went there, talked to all the guys, was fine with Triple H, and then Triple H basically told him, "Hey, we got a call from the big man and said they don't want you here," and he left willingly. But now that was before Vince McMahon was like officially out. Now
but that was before he was also they don't want him there because he was with AEW.
Yeah, he was still there. Yeah.
Now he's not there.
So I mean, but he didn't just go there for no reason. Like he didn't just go there for like to say hi. Like I said, it wasn't like he was in his backyard. He flew with WWE superstars.
Cody Rhodes is going to be okay with Punk? I don't think so.
I don't know. I think of all people, I think Cody.
Maybe Roman would.
I'm not gonna lie.
Seth, and I don't know about Cody.
I think Cody. I think Cody would. I think Cody likes to kind of want to stick it to AEW, and I think he knows that it would do it.
Okay. Well. Will we ever find out what happened? Like, why did he leave? It's still he doesn't really address it.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
He doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't know, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you just say they threw me under the bus and everybody like? Why are these not saying it?
Or it's just this, and he doesn't want to admit it. He just got a crazy amount of money. Like that could just be.
And
why.
didn't Vince fly to Cody's house?
The next day he flew to his house with what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. Oh, Pritchard. And flew to his house and sat there. And they said they didn't even have a meeting. It was just like, "How you doing?
How you doing?" Sign that.
And that's why like stuff like that. That's why I like all that stuff. Like I feel like they're like WWE does stuff like that. Like I think they would be like, "Hey, we got to bring him in here. Like it's perfect. It's time. Like you got to do it." Like people said that Hogan and Brett would never even wrestle at WWE again, and they did. Like
that's what I'm saying. I mean, but I don't think Hogan or Brett did something.
Hulk Hogan. Like I'm not even listen. Hulk Hogan's done way worse than Punk has ever done in his life. People hate Hulk Hogan backstage. Hate him because he's said racist stuff and he had all this stuff, and they still bring him back every reunion show and have him on the show, and he's a host of WrestleMania and all this stuff. Like, there's got to be
very interesting to follow. Like I'm literally like,
and it's funny because every day,
I'm like every day I'm reading Sean's. I'm reading every reporter's everything. And I'm following.
I feel like every time I swipe on Twitter on X, it's something different.
Something different.
Yeah.
But there was one guy that went completely off on the journalist last night too. I don't know. Let me just say this in closing on CM Punk. What happens? How will you feel if he does not come back? And what if you don't? What if he goes to some indie thing and just does it for fun and that's it?
Well, he won't. He doesn't have. You know how he is. He's just not going to do that. He's gonna look like, oh wow, look like Enzo Amore's wrestling in some bingo hall. Like he's not gonna go do that. Like he's yeah, he knows. But what I was gonna say to end it, you saw that they were confiscating all the signs, and
oh my god, yes,
and making people turn their shirts inside out that were on camera.
Yes, and I mean literally the videos I was sending you too of like they were booing. He's like, all right, I'm just going to sit in this chair. So there's a chair on the stage. He's addressing the crowd like Chicago is a great town. And we came here and they're like, boo.
Yeah.
Why would you go out there? What did you think?
Yeah, like they're not going to listen to you.
Like, why are you standing there in a chair, sitting there in a chair?
But what they said was that like, yeah, we can end it. But like, when I think about WWE and I think about Punk, like, can you imagine a storyline with Roman and Heyman and Punk with those three? Like, that's bigger than anything they could have ever done in AEW times 10, like ever. Like it would be insane. Like it would be crazy. I
don't know, but Roman appears now 3 times a year, so I don't know.
Yeah, his appearances are
I don't know. the other thing that happened, which we'll get into in a minute on All Out, the Young Bucks came out and they're literally booing the Young Bucks
Yeah.
because of the whole thing with Punk.
Yeah.
Everybody was being booed in Chicago. What did they expect?
And
I just never thought you would fire the guy before these big things in Chicago, which was either ballsy or they had to do it.
I just think they had to, and that's why we talk about it. I think we're gonna see some crazy stuff when that if it ever comes out, because everything points to like they had to. So like, why did they have to so bad? Like you know what I mean? But
the intent was all right. Well, let's get into WWE Payback. There was a weekend of pay-per-views. WWE Payback happens, and John Cena comes back, and I'm like, he's going to be the host.
I'm so excited.
Back. He comes back. He's going to be 2 months. I'm like, what's he going to be doing? And then they have him as the host first of WWE Payback, and so funny. I died. So hammy in the ring, but funny. And when he's going to the Miz and he's like, I need suggestions of.
It was great. It was awesome. Like I actually laughed.
So funny. I laughed.
Because this was great too. Like when he said the thing about the Teletubby, like it was hilarious because it's true. Like
the
it's
funniest thing that I loved about Miz, and we're jumping, but was like M-I-Z. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's great. He's great.
I mean, these are the guys that can act, perform. You've got Miz, Cena, LA, like these guys know how to do it. So it was so funny. Then, like I said, when they went backstage and he's wearing the bow tie, Cena, and the thing, and he's like, I'm back here, like trying to be.
He was crouching down because he was
down. He didn't know what to do.
More than Finn Balor, yeah.
Funny.
He like we'll talk about Cena for a little bit. Like he really, like everyone says, he doesn't have to do any of this, like at all. He's rolling in money. He's 46 years old. He literally doesn't have to do anything. He never forgets where he started. Like he always comes back whenever he has any time. 2 weeks, he's back. Like a month, he's back. So it's just crazy because I that's why he's my favorite, because like he really does always come back, even if it's for a few months. I watch every SmackDown, and I'm not gonna miss a SmackDown because of the fact that he's there for the next 2 months. Like he's gonna have some like legit. He's gonna set up a feud, so like he's gonna do something which is awesome. Like it really does. Like he never and now he's got new merch. Like he knows how to do it.
I was gonna say there was the interview that did get publicized that he said, you know, he is older. He's not ready to hang it up yet, but he knows retirement is coming up. So it's kind of like he knows. Also, I think he came back. And they brought up the Make-A-Wish thing again. He granted another wish the other night. Like, that's another big part of this. And people were like, oh, I hope he turns heel. I'm like, no, he's not going to turn heel.
Yeah.
How can you do the Make-A-Wish ambassador bashing people?
It just doesn't even make any sense at 46 years. Like, if you were going to do it, you do it 20 years ago. You don't do it now. Like, it's over. That's it.
The only thing I was thinking is that the feud would be LA Knight and Cena.
That's what they're teasing. They're teasing.
That seems to be, but then who are you rooting for?
It seems like it would just be one of those where it's like
at the end after they feud, then it's shake your hand, you pass the torch.
They did have a lot of tension, you know, during the match.
Tension. Yeah.
But talking about SmackDown, like I was really surprised that they did something with Jimmy and him. Like it was weird. Like I wasn't expecting that. And I don't know, they're kind of like throughout the whole SmackDown, we saw it. They're kind of like making Jimmy look like a punk. Like he's getting pushed by Styles on the floor. Like Cena gave him the AA. Like it's weird that I don't know why they're like making him out to be like that.
I don't understand what's going on with that, because now
the whole story's all messed up. Yeah,
it's kind of messed up. Like they've now messed it up.
I guess talking about SmackDown. So I guess they're teasing like a Styles feud with Roman. I guess because they had him. Styles, he pushed Uso, and then he fought solo at the end and got beat up by Jimmy again. So I guess that's what they're doing.
Wait a minute.
On SmackDown.
Wait, but what happened? I missed one thing? Jimmy came back at the end?
Jimmy beat up Styles after the match. When he fought solo.
Right. That's right. That's right. So is Jimmy then in the bloodline or by himself?
Well, they said Solo was like, "Hey, you're out the bloodline when we say you're out the bloodline." So it's like, I don't know.
Excuse me. Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yes, I did see
Yeah.
that. Yes, you're out of the bloodline. But didn't
So I
Jimmy
don't
walk
know.
out?
Yeah, and then he was like, "You
He
can't tell me,"
walked out.
and then he came back. Yeah.
Then he came back. Okay. I don't know. All right. So WWE Payback. Can we just say
Yeah,
exceeded expectations?
I liked it a lot. Like
I
was really
liked it a
good.
lot, and I thought the cage match was great between
It was
Trish.
awesome. It was
I mean,
awesome.
you were Mr. Hater on Becky
Yeah,
and Trish.
I was so not interested.
This was such these women.
They were taking crazy bumps.
Did you see Trish's head?
A huge knot.
She
Yeah.
always gets hurt, by the way, Trish.
Yeah.
Those bumps were phenomenal. I mean, I could not believe that they went there. That was unbelievable.
Awesome. It was a great way to like show everybody like I think because even they were not like even they like were like, hey, we're done with this feud. Like we're tired of it. But it was a great way to end it. And I liked it. It was really good. And that suplex off the top was crazy. Like that was insane. She's not young. Like they're both not like to be taking stuff like that. That's
I can't believe how great Trish is. First of all,
she's still going. Yeah.
Trish is. Now, I will share that this is great. So back when she started at WWE, they had me sit down with Trish and they said, so I had a monologue for her. And I'm like, this is what we want you to say. And she was very green, very new. And so I worked with her to make sure she could say the lines that she was going to say.
Yeah.
When I think of that Trish to this,
Yeah.
like I remember her at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
And really liked her. Really liked her. But you know, to see how she's come this far is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an incredible match. Becky's amazing.
Yeah, Becky's great.
And they need to give Becky. They need to give Becky another push at the title.
I think they're gonna have that. I think that's gonna be the Mania match. I think it's gonna be her and whoever is the champion on Raw. I think that's what it's gonna be because Becky needs it.
Then we had Austin Theory, I think, who's finally tanked, and Rey Mysterio. I was surprised that the match went the way it was. I was like, so what's the point of this? I thought Santos Escobar was going to come out and swerve him and interfere in the match, and that was going to be it, or push him at the end and say, screw you.
Yeah.
What was the point of this?
Clean Mysterio 48-year-old win on a roll-up.
And where does Austin Theory go? Which is
That's what I don't get. Are they just
I mean, they kind of like trashed him now. He's lost a couple times. Where does he go?
Like I get people, everyone's saying face turn, and I get that's why I think that is where it's going. But like, is anyone going to care? Like, he's boring. Like, is anyone going to care if he's a face? Like, he's not good in the ring. Unless
I think he teams with Grayson Waller and they become this mega tag team, and they that's what they should do.
But I don't think he's good in the ring at all. So I don't know. I don't think he's good in the ring. The match was okay.
I didn't like the match.
I'm not even too excited that like I don't get any excitement out of Rey Mysterio winning the US championship. Like he doesn't need it. Like I don't get it.
Right. I didn't care.
Like I know they're going towards Santos. It's gonna be that, but I thought it would be yesterday, like Saturday. Like, why is it? What are you waiting for?
I didn't understand it at all. And then I'm like, yeah. So is this just dragging this out for the swerve? It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay, LA Knight and Miz.
Yeah,
tell it. There were so many funny comments.
The whole promo before that, all that.
Teletubbies. You look like a 50-year-old Teletubby. All of that.
And then the match was pretty good. And then I liked, they had a couple Cena and LA Knight, Cena and Miz stuff, which was cool. And then they had LA Knight win, which we all expected, and then the Cena rub at the end, which was cool. That's crazy that they gave that to him.
Well, they needed LA Knight to come away with a win here.
Yeah.
So do you think he will get a chance at the championship? Any championship?
I don't know. I really don't.
What's he gonna do?
What brand is he even on? He was on Raw and SmackDown. So what?
I don't know. Or anybody in any brands? I am literally confused. I don't know.
But yeah, that match is pretty good. And then I think they're teasing something Cena and LA Knight. So
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to see for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 matches.
Be awesome.
Which will be amazing. Cena's
Yeah.
going to put over Cena's going to help put over LA Knight
Well, he's in
more.
our heads. We can't get rid of him.
I can't get rid of CM Punk. Okay, Steel City Street Fight for the undisputed WWE. Amazing match.
The night.
Amazing match.
It was my match of the night. It was awesome.
Kevin Owens is a beast.
Yeah.
How did he get? Did he literally get cut off?
He bladed, yeah. Like he
Did
bladed.
Or did he get cut? Because I've never. They don't usually.
No, because he went over.
He went over.
Not
Right.
bled, and then when he came up, he was bleeding.
He was bleeding.
Yeah, so he bladed.
So I was surprised that he did, because I thought
loved it.
I loved it, but I don't.
I loved it.
Yeah,
It was so. I loved the match. It was super cool.
It was great. It was
when he did the swan. I wasn't expecting a swanton.
Swanton bomb,
elbow drop. Like I was like, no way. It was
the
so
hockey sticks, and they came out with the hockey jersey.
I thought I was watching like the Hardys like during that match.
It was such a great match. And then the end.
How surprised were you? Because I was not expecting that at all.
I was completely and utterly stunned.
Yeah.
I was not expecting this. The way it was going down and the interference and none of it was really working and they kept kicking out or getting out of it. I thought they're going to retain. And then Dominic hitting with the Money in the Bank briefcase, he kind of half-assed it. When you look back at the replay, he didn't really plunk him really good. So it was like, ugh. And then they won. I was shocked. Yeah. But I guess the plan was to give all the belts that they could to Judgment Day to be this bloodline faction.
It's awesome. And they've been, listen, and like I love it. I love Judgment Day. And they've been carrying Raw for literally like a year now. So like they deserve it. They really do. And I love it. I think it's awesome.
But then your boy, JD McDonough, comes out and helps. He's not an official member. So this is where this is all going to break down. He's Finn's friend. He's going to be in the Judgment Day. Priest gets thrown out. That's
now they're
the tag champs. So now what?
I think they're putting all that to bed for now. I think it's like them winning is like, all right. But now he still has Money in the Bank. So is he going to cash in and they're going to have everything? Like they're going to have even the championship. Like it's going to look awesome. Like it's going to look super cool.
If he beats Seth
as the tag champion,
as a tag champ, then they've got all the belts. Then somehow from there,
then it will start. Yeah,
it cracks because he's the double champ. Finn gets upset. And I love that Rhea's trying to keep everybody together.
Yeah,
like, and she's a beast. Like I don't even know what to say about her. She's just
no. And I really like that. Like it did well with, like Sammy and KO were basically going against 5. It was like 5 against 2. So it looked like that. It was there. It was like it showed that they lost. Like they got screwed over, but it was like a good way to have them lose because they just lost and looked weak. Like they had like literally like 6 people against them. So it was cool to see that. Like it was like every single time you thought someone, like no one was going to come in and break it up, someone broke it up. So I liked it. And like when she speared KO through the barricade, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, this is insane.
But I think Sammy and KO were getting tired. Isn't that why they had to make the change? Because it was going nowhere.
Yeah, but I liked like the way that like, and if you're gonna have them lose, it was to them, which was cool. I just wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't.
I guess that's why this was great. I really wasn't expecting it at all. And then what did you think of Seth and Shinsuke? I didn't care because I just don't care about Shinsuke. I didn't care. I mean, it just went on and I didn't think it was that great of a main event. It's great to see Seth, but I didn't care.
That was Seth's first main event as a champion in his career.
What? That seems pretty.
Isn't that a crazy stat? Because even when he was the champion, the WWE champion, there was the other one. So they would always have someone else.
Yeah, I didn't love the match. I know people liked it. I didn't love it. So the other thing that happens is Cody Rhodes brings out Jey Uso on the great. So let's talk about this. So now
this is probably the biggest story of the night.
The biggest story of the night. Jey comes to Raw. So that makes sense because he quit SmackDown.
He didn't want to be with his
A,
like toxic family anymore.
he's not
Yeah.
on his icky family. He comes out, he's doing the thing. The crowd goes
He's
nuts.
a top guy. He's a top guy.
Cody's like, I hope I don't regret this. And I'm thinking, okay, so are they going to feud? Is it going to be those
Or
two?
does this mean, everyone keeps saying, does this mean the trade that they haven't said it yet? The trade was Cody to SmackDown? You know what I mean? That was his way of getting to SmackDown. That was like, all right, Uso to Raw, and I'm going to SmackDown. Like, because they kind of like, they're kind of teasing it. And he's like, there's some things I saw on SmackDown that are unfinished. So it's like, is that what they're going to end up saying?
I don't know.
Hey,
all I know is that this lineup is so skewed to Monday
if
Night
Cody
Raw.
really is on Raw still, it's so
Why
stacked.
would I? It's so stacked.
So stacked.
It's so stacked.
Yeah. Like, what are they doing at SmackDown now? What are they going to do?
Well,
Like,
what are we doing with Jey Uso on Raw? You said the point is to put him on Raw till Mania.
that's literally what it is.
But what do you mean till Mania? You're saying there's going to be Roman against Jey?
No. Jay and Jimmy are going to fight each other at Mania. That's happening.
That I can see.
They didn't want it to. If you stay on SmackDown, there's no way you can delay it until Mania. And they said that they didn't want to do it at like a Rumble or anything. They wanted it to be the Uso brothers at Mania, which is going to be a big match. So the only way to postpone that is by putting them on the other brand, because now you can have them on the show, selling shirts and all being there as a top guy, and you have them on a different brand, so they can't be together. It's the same way they did it. It's funny because that's literally what they did with Dominic and Ray last year. They had them drafted to separate brands.
Right. They split them
for like 7 months, and they came back together.
Right. But then who's in the bloodline? Come wrestle. Is it Roman and Solo? Like, or
Roman Solo and technically Jimmy still.
Technically Jimmy.
Yeah. I just don't know what story they're going to tell. Are they just?
What are they going to do with Jey on Raw now for the next several months?
I think he could be the one that beats Gunther. I do. I really do.
So they give him that, and then he's a face.
Yeah, he's their top face. I think him and Cody. Yeah.
So, or does Cody? So Cody and Jey are not going to face each other.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to like a him and Sammy reunion. Like, they have a lot of stuff they can do there.
Yeah. You just wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. See, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be.
It's got to be Sammy and Jey going for a run as either tag team.
Yeah,
Kevin is going to.
I think they're going to split. I think they're going to split, and then they're going to do
Jey
one of those matches.
Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah.
Jey and Sammy would be.
They have to acknowledge each other. Like, it has to happen. Because now Jay's like officially out and he's like fully gone. So Sammy's like, they're going to talk to each other, I'm guessing.
So they obviously have a lot of faith in Jey. WWE.
And which is, it's just crazy because he was the one that was always getting in trouble, always getting arrested, always getting these DUIs. And it really is like awesome to see where he is now. Like, it's awesome. Like, it really is cool. Like, I never would have thought Jey Uso would be this top guy, but he really is. But now, like, think about it, we talk about it all the time. Now you got Jey, Sammy, and Jey, Cody, and Seth as your three baby faces. Like, they're stacking Raw like to the point where you can't even compete with SmackDown. Like, it's bad. I feel bad for SmackDown.
It's bad. I mean, they have Roman, who's not there.
That's it. Yeah, and he's not there.
And the next pay-per-view, he's not going to be there either. PLA. So he doesn't come back till November till Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, which he's technically, I don't even know if he's definitely going to be there.
The show is so boring on SmackDown without.
And it's crazy because I used to feel the complete opposite way.
So on AEW All Out last night, it was better than I expected as well. Some of those matches were absolutely incredible.
So do you think the Ricky Starks match was supposed to be Punk? Do you think that's what it was supposed to be? And they brought Danielson back and just threw him in there?
No, because the dragon thing was really the dragon. I don't know.
Yeah.
It should have been Starks and Punk.
Yeah, because that's what they were kind of teasing.
They had the feud.
Yeah. So I was like, did they just throw Danielson in there? Like, was he even supposed to come back yet?
Well, they certainly wrote it right with the dragon, the swerve in the contract, and the dragon. What did you think of that match? Violent, bloody, but it was a great match.
I liked it, and I told you I'm really high on Starks. I think he can be really good, and yeah, I think he should be the top guy in Collision now.
Stark is the top heel now on Collision with Big Bill in his corner.
Yeah,
so
I like it.
I
like
it. I thought it was a great match. I didn't know how you felt about it with the amount of blood, but there was a lot of blood.
Yeah, Danielson's another one who likes to bleed a lot, and that's like kind of why he went to AEW, like just to bleed. So I mean, it's in his contract. I have to bleed.
Yeah, to bleed. The other great match, Kenny Omega and Takeshita, was unbelievably great.
It was it was even better than I thought it was going to be.
Better than I thought it would be. What'd you think of how it ended? That he lost. He keeps losing Omega.
Huh?
He lost Omega.
I'm saying, like, they've had Omega, you know, he's like on a run of this now, and it's like, where are they going with him? Like, what is he? Is this why he signed his extension to lose? Is that
No, he lost. He's putting over Takeshita. Is that the point?
Is he gonna put over guys now? Is that just what he's doing? Like,
I'm wondering.
He could have been selling out main events, but he wanted to stay.
I don't know. Some of the moves in that match were insane. People were giving it an A.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the best match.
I thought the best match was Orange and John Moxley because it was such a great built story. The story.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the best match when it came to like. That's how the retails matches, and that they did it really well. They did.
I'm so glad you said that. You finally see this had the story built in the match.
Yeah, for once,
like for one time in our lives, this broke my. I was very upset. Like, I couldn't take it. Like, Orange, I didn't know Orange liked to bleed either, so he's been bleeding 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Moxley's actually insane. I don't get it. And I don't get it. Why is he Orange why did they take it off Orange?
I just think that they had to give it to Moxley because he hasn't had anything in a while, and I also think the story made sense for him to finally win. And I guess for them, for AEW as a company, like Moxley will sell more as the international champion. So it's like he is a bigger guy, I guess.
Is he? I don't know. I mean, Orange, everybody loves Orange Cassidy.
I love him.
I think he's the best.
And I don't like John Moxley. I don't like
John Moxley. I don't like his wrestling. I don't like him. I'm sorry. Like, give me Orange Cassidy. The whole Orange Cassidy thing, the whole vibe, the marketing, I don't have a catchphrase.
Yeah.
There's so many great things. And he's such a great wrestler. And he's not awesome. A big guy. He's not a big guy. And then
I hated to see him lose. I really did. I was like, this sucks.
Oh, I hated it so much. And when he did the double, like the finger to, which is Moxley's thing, and then it was just so sadly, it's like a real beatdown.
It was like, yeah, there's no way he's coming out of this. It was like,
and John said, "Hail Mary," like or what he did, praise God. He went up like, "I'm gonna go kill this guy. Forgive me." And he's like, gives him the finger, Cassidy, and then he goes down. It was like
when I watched the Moxley matches,
it was a great story.
When I watched the Moxley matches, like this one, for example, it's funny because I just looked over to my like bedstand and I have a screwdriver there, and I just think of John Moxley because that's all he does.
No, screwdriver is Don Callis.
Don Callis. Yeah.
Forks and biting is John.
But I think with John Moxley, like I feel like I would be scared to wrestle him because I feel like he's one of those guys that will like lose it and like he'll actually like kill somebody in the ring. Like I feel like he likes doing the stuff too much, where it's like bleeding like crazy and stabbing. It's like, yo, chill out for a second. Like I get nervous when I watch his matches.
I was shocked that Orange let himself bleed and get bitten and all that. Like it's kind of gross, and I felt it was such an annihilation of Orange, and they really. Where does Orange go from here? Like what do they do with him? He can't be the world heavyweight. She's not going to beat MJF.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like speaking on that, like, all right. So did you like what they did? Like now that they're just a tag team now, like that's just like what they're going to run with.
No, I don't like it. I think the whole thing is stupid. And the hamminess of MJF in the neck, the whole thing is like comic ham. and like stuff like that. Like, what is you can't keep these guys together. You don't have enough big names on this show.
No, now you really don't.
Now you really don't. You cannot keep them together.
Yeah.
And then who am I rooting for? Is MJF now a face?
They cannot go backward. They have to keep MJF as the face of AEW. They have to.
So
they can't have him turn.
So on the AEW post show and the media scrum for All Out, they had Adam Cole on with Tony, and they asked, are you surprised by the reaction? Is this what you guys planned? And they're like, no, it just was like, we didn't think it was going to take off like this in terms of being baby faces, or that the audience was so captivated.
That's why I kind of wish they did this tag team and they had the tag team, but they were heels. Because then then you could have MJF turn and be the face. But now that they're doing this whole big baby face run, like if Adam Cole turns, like it's not going to be like that big of a thing. It's like, all right, we all expected it. And then MJF is just like, all right, he's the face, I guess. But if you had them as heels and they were beating everybody up and talking crap to the fans, and then MJF turns on Cole, then he's like, all right, he's the face no matter what. But like the crowd loves Adam Cole so much. Like if he turns, it's going to be like, oh, okay.
And who cares about the Ring of Honor tag team championships? It's like, oh, like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This they've got to stop. And what did you think of the tag match with FDR, Bullet Club Gold, and I've seen it before.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen it so many times. Like I told you I don't like FTR. I just don't. I don't like them. I think they're boring. So like, I don't know. I don't really care for them. It's like when they.
Yeah. And what did you think of Kingston, Shibata, and Blackpool Combat Club? The only one I really liked was Shibata.
Yeah, Shibata's good, and Kingston I can't stand. Like I can't do it.
Can't do it. And I don't even understand why I'm watching him.
And I'm like tired of the combat club too. Like it's getting old.
I never understood why they turned the way they did either. All right, so what about the girls, Statlander, Ruby Soho? Did you care?
Not really.
Okay, so what are you giving WWE Payback? What do you grade?
I give it an A-. I thought it was great. I could watch that pay-per-view back, like, and watch it fully through and just keep watching it.
I give it an A-.
Yeah.
And what about All Out?
A B.
Oh, I think it was a little. I'm giving it a B+. I thought
definitely. I think Payback was. I think
they saved it. I think they. Huh?
So I give it a B or B+, whatever, because I think Payback was definitely a better show.
Yes, but I was surprised that All Out was even good.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was going to suck because of All In, and I was really thought if it wasn't for Orange and John, Takeshita and Omega, and I guess Bryan Danielson and Starks, those three matches were worth.
Yeah,
I was thinking I was going to get a D.
Yeah, it definitely was better. Payback was also way better than I expected. I really liked it, and
Payback was great.
The crowd was great.
Yeah, I thought Payback was going to be bad too, and I was totally into it.
And I'm definitely excited for today because I think like Raw is going to be really good. Gable and Gunther is going to be really good. I don't know. I have a feeling Gable might win. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know. They're
literally. Well, maybe they're taking titles off people this month, so maybe.
And I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with Cody if he's gonna do anything with. Maybe he'll talk to Uso today. We'll see. First day on Raw, so
yeah. And
if they're gonna continue the Rollins and Nakamura feud, which I think they are. So we'll see where that goes.
But isn't the Judgment Day gonna come out as tag champs too?
They should probably start the show and be like, "Hey,
right." So I think we've got tonight Judgment Day, big thing with tag champs. We've got
stacked.
Cody. We got Jay. We've got
Gunther. Gonna come out.
And we're gonna show.
Imagine he just came out today. He just came out like nothing. That'd be hilarious.
I don't know. I think or on the Jumbotron they show Punk beating the crowd.
Like, hey guys, we have a video that we bought.
Let's show. Yeah.
Wembley Stadium, we bought this.
I actually think I've never seen this much interest in pro wrestling in
No,
my,
it's insane. Like
it's insane.
like everyone talks about
Insane.
everyone talks about like, and I kind of agree. Like when WWE was like, the only thing going, and it was like I guess like my time growing up where like I kind of stopped watching. Like I always watched and like kept up with it, but I was like addicted to the point where I watched every show when it came to like 2008 to like 2014 ish, and then like 2015 to like 2018 I really wasn't into it because it got kind of boring, and then ever since then it's been on fire. Like, and especially right now, like today, like it's the big like Wembley Stadium and WWE and it's the biggest it's ever been, and AEW really is like, I give AEW props. They're like, I see all the time. I never watched independent wrestling. I knew who they were, but I never actually watched it. And now I get to see these guys without having to watch like New Japan and stuff. I get to see them on AEW. And it really is like the talent pool is crazy. Like it really is like WWE is not the only company.
No,
So
they're very different, and I mean they're very different, and it's great opportunity to provide pro wrestlers and people like Tony Khan said actually last night on the press conference. You know, they provided jobs for all of these wrestlers that were, you know, floundering around, that didn't have opportunity to be on television, to get out there, and people in production and
I was
backstage.
gonna say even production, like there's a whole other
Like, there's a whole other company that there wasn't. I mean, it's been so monopolized for 20 years since WCW went away, you know, that this is it. And I don't think they're trying to be WWE by any means.
No, they're not.
And they can't be. So, but they can certainly put out their own best product if they can get their overall shit together, which, you know, they've done some great stuff.
Maybe, you know, maybe for them now that he's officially gone, it'll be better. So
maybe things will be smoother. I don't.
Yeah.
But if all of a sudden we start hearing about more people,
then we know.
And they're coming, and this one fought with this one. Yeah. It's like, who are they all 5-year-old? Like, I don't understand where's the professionalism?
Yeah. Well, then it comes down to like, where is it really just management that just can't control these guys?
And to your point, like when it was on Peacock, when WWE went to Peacock, like for the first while, I was not watching the paper. I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
In the last year, my whole interest has been reinvigorated. Like the Band-Aid was ripped off after me shutting it down for a while. Now I'm like, it's great. Yeah, and the product is great. And also WWE's gotten better in terms of like not just throwing away a pay-per-view.
I think WWE's adapting very well. Like they really are adapting to the times of what people want to see. Like I think they are starting to slowly move away towards like the whole PG thing. Like they really are like, I think they're catering more to us. Like they like with the types of matches they're doing and like all that stuff. And like it's smart. Like you got a pay-per-view like Payback. It's a low pay-per-view in like a little arena, that like not crazy arena. You got to do matches that are like gimmick matches. You have to do steel cage. You have to do extreme rules like street fights. You have to bring Cena back. Like they're smart and they did all that, and that's why it was really good.
And what's good about it is they actually did something. The tag champs, they changed titles. Something happened.
Something happened. Yeah.
So you have to have something significant happen. I think they're not throwing it away and waiting for XYZ. You can't do that anymore. It's a fast world we live in. You have to move things along. I don't know what's going on in AEW, however, other than they took the belt off my Orange, which I'm not happy with. I don't know where he goes from here. Is he just going to be like a mid-card? Like, what happens to him?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with him.
All right. So, anyways, I guess we will reconvene. I'm sure this week will either provide more answers.
I think we're going to see some Punk information. I think Raw is going to be really good today. So
I think Raw is going to be good. And then I heard there's Wrestle Dream is the new pay-per-view that AEW is doing in Seattle to counter, because that's in October.
Yeah.
Because WWE has their pay-per-view in October as well.
Yeah.
Right. Fastlane, right? In Indy?
In Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the October ones, which are the in-between ones before the big pay-per-views in November. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
We'll continue this. Thanks, everybody. Okay.
It's like any Punk information.
Yeah, Punk information, send my way. We'll talk about the video when it comes out next time.
We'll do when there's a video. If a video comes out, we're doing a
Doing a
live.
special show live.
We're going live that
We're going live
second.
that day. That's
Yeah.
right.